G'day and welcome back to this week's Aviation News Roundup. First up, seized Indian operator Jet Airways looks to be on the verge of revival. Former Indigo Airlines CEO Aditya Ghosh has been approached by potential Jet Airways investors Kalrock Jalan Consortium to take the pilot's seat in the airline's revival. Now, Aditya Ghosh is a man that comes off strong success in running and leading an airline, having helped nurture and grow Indigo to be India's largest and most successful airline. An interesting structure of the fleet set at Indigo Airlines is the airline's policy of only operating a single aircraft type of the Airbus A320 family. The company holds a total of 247 of the type, the number being second to only US Airways in the world, with the Kalrock Jalan Consortium wanting to make Jet Airways 2.0 a viable model. This could imply streamlining the fleet to a single aircraft type. Prior to Jet Airways' demise, the airline was dipping its feet in both the international and domestic market, with the Boeing 777 and 737, and Airbus A320 and Airbus A330. With Aditya Ghosh at the helm, a streamlined Jet Airways fleet could look more like operating the Boeing 737 MAX, with 3 already delivered to the company. Only time will tell whether the Kalrock Jalan Consortium and bringing Ghosh in will pay off. Now to South American-based airline LATAM, of whom have some positive news on the horizon. Back in April, the airline filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, with the airline adding more debt of $2.2 billion, which compounded its 2019 outstanding debt of $18 billion. Having raised $900 million from its shareholders and having $1.3 billion cash on hand, the airline is making steps to exit this debt, with Roberto Alvo, LATAM CEO, saying the company would exit its Chapter 11 reorganization at some point during the second half of 2021. This goal won't be easy to achieve, however, LATAM has already taken steps to achieve this, which includes an operations and fleet decrease in order to reduce operation costs. This includes the rejection of 19 leasing contracts and reducing its fleet from 66 767, 777, 787 and A350s to just 6 787s and A350 aircraft, as well as cutting wages and benefits by 56% for its employees. More concerning news coming out of Nigeria, and it has been reported that following a lengthy investigation by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the various Nigerian operators had been overwriting cockpit voice recorders. Now, the CVR is the orange box located at the rear of the fuselage, with microphones placed throughout the cockpit. This is not only important for investigators post-crash, but is also important for the airline, ensuring that pilots are coinciding with the country's regulations for standard operating procedures. The ASAP program exists, which periodically sends the aircraft data to the operator, which is then reviewed and flagged if pilots deviate from SOPs. If a pilot reports this exceedance before it is flagged by the system, then they will only be slapped with a warning, rather than a strike by their operator. This was not followed by a Nigerian-based airline, Fly Aero, of which after a 737 suffered a runway excursion, the CVR data was overwritten, and the incident went unreported. This highlights the importance of the NCAA's safety recommendations to maintain CVR data to assist in post-incident investigations. Finally, to more positive news covering the rise of Indian airline Vistara. Vistara was founded in 2015 by both Singapore Airlines and Indian motor vehicle company Tata Sons, initially operating a few Airbus A320s before meeting the Indian Civil Aviation 520 rule, which required Indian operators to operate for at least 5 years domestically with a minimum fleet size of 20 aircraft. This rule was later scrapped in 2016, enabling Vistara to expand its growth in expanding to the international aviation market. This included starting out with flights using its Airbus A320neo from Delhi to Singapore. Now it serves Doha, Dubai, Singapore, Bangkok, Kathmandu, Colombo and Dakar. To move forward and stay with the times of newer aircraft, Vistara has also purchased 6 wide-body Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners. This aircraft is currently positioned on its Delhi or Mumbai route to London Heathrow. The Dreamliner's long-range fuel tank will allow Vistara to explore vastly distinct markets to travel from to India, including Australia, Eastern Europe, and Africa. Thus, Vistara is looking on the up and taking the challenge to current king of aviation in India, Indigo Airlines. Now, it's that time of the show for the qualifying lap news. The COMAC C919 aircraft enters its final flight testing phase. Indian aviation governing body lifts its ban on A320neo engines. Air Canada has started converting its subsidiary airline Air Canada Rouge 767 passenger aircraft to freighter aircraft. Shanghai was labelled the best airport in the world for global airport connectivity. The busiest air route in the world, Sydney to Melbourne, has reopened following the ease of state government COVID-19 restrictions. Finally, a retired British Airways 747 catches fire at an airfield in Spain. Thanks for listening to this week's Aviation News Roundup, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's video.